Welcome to Fairy Garden Discoveries, where STEM takes flight. When the garden was quiet and the light moved slowly, Christella liked to paint. She knew colors held secrets, especially when they met. Today, a tiny drop of paint is about to discover that change doesn't mean disappearing. It means reacting, mixing, and becoming something new. Christella loved painting when the garden was quiet and the light moved slowly between the leaves. Her easel stood beneath an old tree, its branches stretching overhead like gentle arms. Around her feet sat small glass jars filled with paint, red like ripe berries, blue like deep water, yellow like warm sunshine. Each color shimmered softly, waiting. Colors are full of secrets, Christella often said. You just have to watch carefully. As she lifted her brush, a tiny voice piped up from the rim of a blue paint jar. "I hope you're not planning to mix me," said Drip, a small, glossy paint drop with a very serious expression. "Blue is already perfect." Christella smiled without looking up. "All colors are wonderful," she said kindly. But sometimes, when they meet, they change. Drip gasped. "Change?" Christella dipped her brush gently, letting the bristles soak. "Mixing colors is like a conversation," she explained. "They react to each other." Drip leaned closer, suspicious. "I don't like surprises." Christella laughed softly. "Then you might want to watch closely. Today feels like a day for discoveries." The paints gleamed in agreement. Christella dipped her brush into yellow, then slowly brought it toward the blue. She touched the brush lightly to the paper, letting the colors swirl together. Yellow moved into blue. Blue folded into yellow. The change didn't rush. It happened gently, right before their eyes. Green appeared. Christella blinked, delighted. "There it is," she whispered. Drip froze. "Wait, where did the blue go?" Christella tilted her head. "It didn't go anywhere, it mixed." Drip stared at the paper. "So, I'm still there?" "Yes," Christella said. "Just changed." Drip squinted. "I look different." "That's a reaction," Christella explained. "When two colors mix, they interact and create something new." Drip crossed his tiny arms. "I did not sign up for this." Christella laughed. "Chemistry doesn't ask permission," she said gently. "It just follows its rules." Drip leaned closer again, curiosity sneaking past his worry. "So if colors can change, what else can happen?" Christella dipped her brush once more. "Let's find out." This time, Christella mixed red with yellow. She watched carefully as the brush moved in slow circles. Red softened. Yellow warmed. Orange bloomed across the page. Drip's mouth fell open. "That's actually very nice." Christella nodded. "When paints mix, they don't disappear. They react and become something new." Drip studied the color closely. "So blue plus yellow makes green. Red plus yellow makes orange." "Exactly," Christella said. "Those are predictable reactions. Chemistry follows patterns, even when the results surprise us." Drip puffed up a little. "So I wasn't ruined. I was transformed." Christella smiled. "That's a beautiful way to put it." Drip tapped the edge of the jar thoughtfully. "I still don't love change, but I might be curious about it." Christella dipped her brush into clean water and swirled it gently through the paint. The color lightened, spreading more softly now. "Reactions can be strong," she said, "or gentle." Drip relaxed slightly. "Okay, gentle reactions I can handle." Christella set her painting aside and watched as the paint began to dry. Slowly, almost shyly, the color shifted again, darkening just a touch as air brushed across the surface. Drip leaned forward. They're changing, but you're not touching them. That's another reaction, Christella explained. Paint reacts with air as it dries. Drip's eyes widened. So reactions can happen even when no one is doing anything? Christella nodded. Chemistry is always quietly working. The garden breeze stirred the leaves overhead. Shadows moved. Light changed. Some reactions are fast, Christella said. Others take time, but all of them follow gentle rules. Drip watched the painting carefully. I guess. Change doesn't always mean chaos. Christella smiled. Sometimes it means balance. Drip settled onto the edge of the palette, watching the colors rest. For the first time, he didn't interrupt. He was too busy noticing. Christella reached for her brush again, this time dipping it into blue before touching red. She moved slowly, letting the colors meet without rushing them. Blue softened into red. Red folded into blue. Purple spread across the paper, rich and deep. Drip gasped so hard he nearly tipped over. That's not blue or red. Christella smiled. That's what happens when two colors react together. They share their parts and become something new. Drip studied the purple carefully. So mixing doesn't erase us. It combines us. Yes, Christella said. Chemistry is about interaction. Drip tilted his tiny head. I still feel nervous, but also curious. Christella rinsed her brush and tried again, adding just a touch of red this time. The purple shifted slightly, becoming warmer. Even small changes matter, she explained. The amount we mix can change the result. Drip leaned closer. So, chemistry listens to details. Christella nodded. It always does. The paint shimmered softly, pleased with itself, while Drip began to realize that change could be both surprising and beautiful. Christella set her painting aside to dry and cleaned her brushes carefully. As the moments passed, the colors began to settle. Some darkened slightly. Others softened at the edges. Drip watched closely. They're changing again, but you're not mixing anything. That's because paint reacts with air as it dries, Christella explained. Some reactions don't need stirring. Drip stared in amazement. So chemistry keeps going even when we stop? Christella nodded. It's always quietly at work. A breeze passed through the garden, rustling leaves and carrying the scent of flowers. The painting looked different now, calmer, more finished. Drip exhaled slowly. I thought reactions were loud or splashy. Christella smiled. Some are gentle. Drip relaxed a little. I like gentle reactions. He curled up on the edge of the palette, watching as the colors rested into their new shapes. For the first time, he didn't feel the urge to interrupt. Drip had been thinking. While Christella reached for a fresh sheet of paper, Drip bounced, plop, straight into a puddle of yellow paint. Oh, Christella said. Drip blinked. I feel warmer. Christella laughed softly. You just mixed. Drip glanced at his reflection in the jar. His blue had softened into green. I changed, he whispered. Yes, Christella said gently. You reacted. Drip wiggled his tiny arms. I don't hate it. Christella rinsed her brush and helped Drip out, setting him on a clean cloth. Chemistry isn't dangerous when we're careful, she said. It's just learning what happens when things meet. Drip nodded proudly. I conducted an experiment. Christella smiled. And you observed the result. Drip puffed up. I think I'm a scientist. Christella showed Drip how adding water made colors lighter and spread farther. Then she layered one color over another, letting them mix slowly where they touched. Not all reactions look the same, she explained. Some blend quickly, others change slowly. Drip watched the edges where blue met yellow, becoming green all on their own. They're cooperating. Yes, Christella said. That's chemistry. Drip sat very still now, resisting the urge to jump. Rules help reactions behave. Christella nodded. And when we understand the rules, we can explore safely. The painting glowed softly in the afternoon light. Nothing rushed. Nothing splashed. Drip smiled. I think I like mixing now. Christella laughed. I knew you would. And together they watched colors gently change, one quiet reaction at a time. Christella stepped back from her easel and studied the painting taking shape. The colors she had mixed, greens, purples, and soft oranges, now worked together to form a garden scene full of depth and light. These colors didn't exist until they met, she said thoughtfully. They reacted and became something new. Drip gazed at the canvas, eyes wide. So chemistry helps us make stories. Yes, Christella said. Colors change when they interact, and those changes can help us express ideas. Drip hopped from jar to jar, inspecting the paints. Each reaction leaves a trace, he said proudly. Christella laughed. That's a very scientific way to put it. She layered a thin wash of blue over yellow, watching green bloom gently beneath the brush. The change was quiet but clear. Not all reactions are dramatic, she explained. Some whisper. Drip nodded. Whispering reactions are my favorite. The painting seemed to glow softly, as if the colors themselves were pleased to be working together. Feeling brave, Drip decided to help again. He bounced into red, then yellow, then blue. Plop, plop, plop. Christella turned just in time to see brown spreading across the paper. Drip froze. Oh. Christella paused, then smiled gently. That's what happens when many colors mix all at once. Drip frowned. I was trying to make everything. Christella rinsed her brush. Sometimes reactions don't give us what we expect. That's part of learning. Drip looked at the brown patch. Is it wrong? No, Christella said. It's information. She added water, softening the brown into warm earth tones. Chemistry shows us cause and effect. Drip relaxed. So mistakes are experiments. Christella nodded. Exactly. Christella started a new section of the painting, mixing colors slowly this time. She explained each step, letting Drip watch closely. When we mix carefully, we can predict what will happen, she said. That's how chemistry helps us understand change. Drip watched green appear again. I know that one. Christella smiled. You're learning the reactions. The garden breeze stirred the canvas as the paint dried. Colors settled into place, each one shaped by gentle mixing and time. Drip sat quietly now, observing. Change isn't scary when you know why it happens. Christella nodded. Understanding makes things feel calmer. The painting felt balanced again, full of color and purpose. As the sun dipped lower, Christella finished her painting. Layers of color blended beautifully, each reaction adding depth and meaning. Drip sat at the edge of the palette, quiet and proud. I didn't splash once. Christella laughed. That's growth. She cleaned her brushes and held the painting up to the light. The colors glowed, changed, mixed, and settled. Chemistry helped make this, Christella said. Mixing, reacting, and observing. Drip smiled. And patience? Christella nodded. Always patience. The garden seemed to hum softly, as if agreeing. Colors rested now, ready for whatever reactions tomorrow might bring. As the sun dipped lower, painting the garden in warm gold and long, gentle shadows, Christella sat quietly beside her easel and looked over the day's work. The painting shimmered with layered colors, greens born from blue and yellow, purples shaped by red and blue, soft browns formed through many curious experiments. Each color told a story of meeting, mixing, and changing. Colors react when they come together, Christella said softly. They mix, share, and become something new. Drip rested near the edge of the palette, tracing tiny circles in a drying puddle of paint. I used to think change meant losing something, he admitted. But now I think it means learning. Christella smiled. That's chemistry. It helps us understand why things change and what those changes can create. The garden hummed around them, full of quiet reactions. Leaves shifted color as the light faded. Shadows deepened. Even the air felt different as evening approached. Nothing stayed exactly the same today, Drip said thoughtfully. No, Christella agreed, but everything made sense. As twilight settled in and the first stars peeked through the sky, Christella carefully cleaned her brushes and tucked her paints away. The colors rested now, calm and complete, ready for another day of mixing and discovery. Drip curled up beside the palette, his colors softly blended and just a little different than before. I think I like reactions now, he said. They don't rush, they just happen, one step at a time. Christella nodded. Chemistry isn't about forcing change, it's about understanding how things work together. She lifted her finished painting and smiled. It wasn't just a picture. It was a record of gentle reactions, patient observation, and curiosity. The garden sighed softly as night settled in. Somewhere nearby, flowers closed and dew began to form, another quiet change, another unseen reaction. Tomorrow, Drip said sleepily, we can mix again. Christella laughed. Tomorrow, she agreed. And beneath the stars, colors waited, ready for their next gentle transformation.